Okay, this is a tutorial on the Supreme HD's dual heat press. We're going to be going over functionality and safety. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is plug in your machine. So the plug is at the side here. Now you're going to have a little tabby thing at the bottom of your power supply. So when you want to pull it out, you just have to press down on that and then pull out. But to put it in, you just put it straight in. Just straight in like that. And to take it out, you just press on the tab at the bottom, pull it towards you, and then pull out. Pull the tab towards you and pull out. To put in, you don't have to do anything, you just put it straight in. Just as if you're just plugging it straight into a wall. So you've got your plug, and then if you move over here, you have your pedal. So you take the end of the pedal, and on there are some pins, and they correspond with the holes that are here. So you're gonna line those up and then just push straight in on that. Once you feel them lined in, you press until you hear a click, and that means it's locked into place. Now in order to get it out, there's a little button here, a little push button. So to get it out, you push this button in, and then you pull out. Again, line up correspondingly with the holes, and then press in. On the side here as well, this is your controls for your lasers to push them on and off. And then you have manual switch and auto. So this is your switch for manual and auto. So we're going to start in manual. Okay, so on top of the machine, you have your circuit resets. This is your power button, off, on. And then this is your emergency stop button here. So if anything's going wrong, or you see something happening, you can just push the stop button and it will stop the machine entirely. There's also two buttons, two green buttons, one on each side. And those both have to be pressed when you're in manual mode to actually get it to press. So those two buttons are for pressing, and your pedal in manual is to move the whole machine left and right. So to move it back and forth from one heat press to the other. So that's your pedal, and that we'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so once your power's on, your main screen it'll just show the temperature that you have, and it'll have your last settings on it, but it'll always show your temperature here. And that's your main screen. Then you're gonna hit the settings button, and that's gonna bring you to P1, which is your temperature control. So if I go up to 5, that'll put me at 5 degrees Celsius, because I have it in Celsius right now. You can change that to Fahrenheit or Celsius, and I'll show you that in a minute. But whatever you set this to, so if I put it on 8, it's going to go up to 8 degrees Celsius. Normally for DTF is about 130, 135 degrees Celsius, so of course I would jump. You could either press it by tapping or press and hold, and it'll go up a little bit quicker. So I'm going to go back down to 0, but you could put it at any set desire there in Celsius or Fahrenheit. So I'm going to put it down to 0 for training tutorial purposes, and then we're going to move on to P2 or P21 is next. So P21, these are our 3 timers, 21, 22, and 23. So our first timer is for 5 seconds, and that's our pre-press. And then our second one is P22. That's 15 seconds. That's our actual press of the DTF. And then after we peel the DTF off, we do our final press at 5 seconds. That's our third timer, and that's 5 seconds. P23 is the third timer, and that's your final press there. So those are your 3 times, 5, 15, and 5. And then after P23, once you set your third one, we go into P3. This is where you can change it from Celsius or Fahrenheit. P4 sets your pressure. So normally it's 28 for DTFs. It gives a good amount of pressure, but again, you can set accordingly and as desired. So I'm going to leave it on 28, and that's normally what you would press a DTF at. We'll go over to P5. This is your sleeper timer. So I have it set to 40 right now, which means in 40 minutes, the machine will shut off if I have not touched it. So you can set this to whatever you want, and that's how long it is before it goes into sleep mode. And then you have P6. So what P6 is setting it from manual to auto. So you have 0, which is one single press with one timer, not 2, 3 timers. One timer, one single press in manual. 1 is manual with 3 different press times. And 2 is fully automatic with all 3 press times engaged. We're going to go on 1 for now, manual, and I'll show you that. Okay, so we're in P1, and that's with our 3 timers. And we're just using one single heat press. So what I'm going to do is, so I got the lasers on there right now, but I'm not going to be using them, so you can turn those off. Again, it's the red button at the side. Just press that and it will shut the lasers off and on. So basically you set your shirt where you want it. And once you have it set, we want to do our pre-press. So we're going to press on the pedal, and that will move our whole machine at this point. So we press on the pedal, moves the machine over the shirt, and then we press both buttons at the same time to engage the press. And watch that you don't have your hands underneath here, because they will get squished. If you have little kids or something, make sure that the area is clear before you push these 2 buttons. And it has 2 buttons for safety purposes. You can't just press 1. So if a kid comes up and presses it, it's just not going to go off. You have to press both buttons. And this is our first press. So our first 5 seconds to pre-press. Okay, after 5 seconds, now we want to put our DTF on, so we're going to hit the pedal. And that'll bring it over so we can work here. And then of course place your DTF accordingly. Once you have your DTF in place, press on the pedal again. That will bring it back. Once it's lined up, press both buttons again for your second press, 15 seconds. Okay, now you have your DTF pressed. We push on the pedal again to move it over so we can take the DTF off. If it's quick peel, whip it off. If it's cold, you can put an aluminum tray down or something to cool it off fast, or pull it off, put it aside, and then put the next one down and peel it off later. But you're going to have to do your second press. So you can just leave it. So let's say it's quick peel or it's peeled, and we just let it cool. If it's cold peel, so we peel off our DTF. And of course the Teflon is wrapped around the top of this. So you have Teflon wrapped around here. So for the last press, you press on the pedal again. It'll bring it back. Both of these for the last press for 5 seconds. And that's it. Your shirt is pressed. Push on the pedal again. Move that over. And of course, so the timer resets back to 5:15:5 at this point. Just take your shirt off. You can put another one on, and you can do it singly and manually. So that is how you use one press, 3 different timers. Okay, so now I'm going to show you fully automatic. So you're going to come over to your controls on the side, and you're going to switch this over to auto. Okay, so we just switched to auto. Now on your functions here, you're going to go to settings. You're going to go all the way over to P6, and you're going to change that to 2. And then press the settings button again to get back to your main menu. Okay, so once you have it set to 2 in P6, your machine will be on one side. So this is basically your start side once you put it into auto. So it's going to press 5 seconds, then come over here. You're going to get your next shirt ready. Another 5 seconds. You're going to have put your DTF on here, and then it's going to press for 15 seconds, and then of course it's going to go back to this one 15 seconds, and then it'll go for its final press at 5 seconds, final press at 5 seconds, and then it recycles the whole thing over again, 5, 15, 5. Okay, so I'm going to start on this one. I'm going to place it on here. Now once you've got all your stuff set up, all your shirts, all your DTF set up and ready to rock, then you engage by pressing both buttons, and that starts the entire process, and this will be your first shirt. And then from that point it just goes back and forth and you get into a rhythm. So we're going to press both of these to start, auto. Now as this is coming over to press that one for 5 seconds, you come over here, you put your other shirt down, get it set up, get it in place. Now this is done, it's 5 seconds preheat. So now I'm going to want to place my DTF on this one. And of course we can turn the lasers on, you can set those accordingly. So if you have multiple shirts, so now we have that down. Of course you come over here, this is pressed now, it's got its first press, this is ready for a DTF. So we put our DTF on there. Remember, you have a little bit of time, you have 15 seconds here before it comes over, so and that's what's helpful with the lasers, is it gets your DTF in place fairly quick. So you place it, and again, now that's done, it's going to come over and press this DTF for 15 seconds. And then you're going to take this one, you're going to peel off your DTF. And then there's one more press to this one. And that's your last press on this. So wait for it to finish pressing the DTF on there. And now it's pressed that DTF. Comes over for its final 5 seconds here. At this point here, and peel off the DTF here. And then this will come over for its last 5 second press. Now this shirt's pressed, we can take it off. Then we can put another blank one on. Let it pre-press, take this one off. Put a new one on. Let it pre-press. That one's pre-pressed. Ready for DTF, and so on and so forth. And you'll get your own rhythm and your own method to the madness. If you ever want to stop in between, if it's going too fast, just reach up and press the stop button. And that will it won't turn the machine off. It'll remember where it's set to, or what the last one was, but then when you want to re-engage, if you've caught up, then just twist it back on and push the 2 buttons again, and it'll go over to the next step. So wherever it was leaving off, that's where it'll go to next. So it's pressing now for its 5 seconds, but if that's too quick, and you're like, oh my God, that's too quick, it's coming over too fast, hit the stop button. It's not going to forget the settings that are set to. Because as soon as I turn this back on, it's going to actually continue over here. So if I didn't have this lined up straight yet, I stop the machine, I line it up to where I need to, because that was a little too fast. I didn't get my shirt down in time or my DTF in place.
So once I've got that set, now I can just go back in auto mode by just flicking this up. Don't turn the power off, because then it'll forget what it was last set to. Only the stop button. Once I push this stop back on, it will remember where it was, and it'll continue from that point. Not gonna move anywhere. You're gonna press both of these. It's gonna go over, and now if you press them both again, it will continue where it was last left off. So it was going over to this one, and then it was pressing down for the GTM. And that's pretty much it for the dual press from Supreme HD. And if you have any questions or concerns, just give us a call and we'd be happy to answer at any time.